You're listening to All Things Sports with Mike Davis.
Hey, what is going on, everybody? Glad you can join me on another podcast of All Things Sports with Mike Davis. I thank you for including my podcast into your day. If you're listening on Spotify, follow the podcast. If you're on YouTube, subscribe, comment, like, all of that good stuff. Go to the social media links in the description box to get in contact with the show for comments or any suggestions. I won't take up much more of your time. Let's get into it. All right, guys, great show that I have for you today. Before getting into it, I just wanted to touch on something that you would think is just common sense. Now, I saw online that, on social media, they were blasting Caitlyn Jenner for saying that trans girls shouldn't be allowed in female sports. And for once, I agree with Caitlyn Jenner. Look, I mean, this is common sense. I saw a story where there were trans girls running on the girls' track team, and they ended up shattering all the girls' track records, something to that effect. And you had the girls who were naturally born female, and their parents were upset about it. Look, I'm not going to tell you what to do with your body or how to live your life, but yeah, some things should be common sense. I agree here. Transgender should not be racing in whether that's boys track or girls track or whatever sport it is. To solve all this is simple. I just come up with a trans sport. Takes care of all that. Then you won't have to worry about, trans girls demolishing girls' track records, But I agree with what Caitlyn Jenner said. You would think it's just common sense, but these days common sense is just not so common, and I'm pretty sure if someone listens to this podcast, they're going to be upset with me as well if they're blasting Caitlyn Jenner for those thoughts. But it's common sense, people. All right, let's get into the real reason why we're here. We're here to talk about former Major League second baseman Roberto Alomar. Now, he's been put on the Major League Baseball ineligible list, but the Hall of Fame says that he will stay put there in the Hall of Fame. Now, Hall of Famer Roberto Alomar was banned by the MLB. Like I just said, Cooperstown said that they will keep his plaque there in the Hall of Fame. Rob Manfield, the MLB commissioner, was presented findings from an independent law firm that believes there was a violation of league policies. Now, as a result, Roberto Alomar has been placed on the ineligible list and is banned from working for any Major League Baseball or minor league affiliate. Now, the Baseball Hall of Fame, they went on to say that they will not remove his plaque. That's pretty much what they released in their statement. They also said that the National Baseball Hall of Fame, they are shocked and saddened to learn of the news being shared today about Roberto Alomar when he was elected to the Hall of Fame by the Baseball Writers Association of America in the class of 2011. Alomar was an eligible candidate in good standing. His plaque will remain on display in the Hall of Fame in recognition of his accomplishments in the game, and that his enshrinement reflects his eligibility and the perspective of the BBWAA voters at the time. Now, the Toronto Blue Jays, they came out with a statement saying that they have terminated their relationship with Alomar, who won 2 World Series titles with the franchise in the early 90s, one of those wins against my Atlanta Braves. Now, they have also said that they will take his jersey down from the rafters at the Rogers Center, where the Blue Jays play in Toronto. Now, Before we get into my thoughts, let's check out some of his career stats. Alomar, as you just heard, is a Hall of Famer. He is a 12-time All-Star, 10-time Gold Glove. He was a defensive stud at second base. I really loved him when he was with the Baltimore Orioles. I was an Orioles fan for like a hot second in the 90s when it was that time when Brady Anderson, you were suspecting Brady Anderson was taking steroids because he hit 50 homers. You guys remember that season? But excuse me, Alomar batted .300 for his career, 210 homers, 2,725 hits in his career. Look, I don't agree with the Jays taking down his jersey here. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that O.J. Simpson is still in the Buffalo Bills Ring of Honor. I could be wrong, but I think he is still there. So if O.J. is still in the Buffalo Bills Ring of Honor, Roberto Alomar's jersey needs to hang up in the Rogers Center in Toronto. Now, I'll say this also. Now, look, I don't know if he's guilty or not. This was done by an independent law firm, and it got back to Major League Baseball that some sort of sexual misconduct, sexual harassment had happened. Now, this is what I don't understand. When you're a guy that has the value as Roberto Alomar, a guy who's pretty well respected in the baseball world, and with, and I'm not trying to get into his pockets, but, with the money that he's made being a professional baseball player, I don't understand why, and this is if he really is guilty of this, I don't understand why guys will mess up their money, to chase a skirt in the workplace. I just don't understand it. Look, if a woman is not feeling you, then look, she's just not into you. It is what it is. It's like Gucci Man says, you miss one girl, it's like a bus. It's another one coming, in 15 minutes, and look, still, I still don't think that, look, sexual misconduct in the workplace, yeah, I get it. It's a serious thing. I'm not trying to dismiss it. I still don't think his jersey should be taken down out of the Rogers Center, though, because of it. But I just, it's mind-boggling to me. It just makes me think, I at my job just recently, there was a woman who was recently employed at my job, and word got around that she was a dancer as a previous occupation. Now, you should have seen the guys that lost their minds, and they were ready to risk it all just because this woman had said that she was a dancer, at her previous job. Look, who's to say she wants to dance for you? I mean, she will, because there was a certain situation that happened where, she mentioned to one of the guys that I know at the job that she had a boyfriend, and that's why she stopped dancing. So the guy that I know, well, she said that she still dances, but it has to be the right amount, and look, I'm not trying to make light of this situation with Roberto Alomar. Maybe you should have went the other way with it. If, pay to play, I don't know. Again, not trying to make light of the situation, but Roberto Alomar, he's out. He is out. But it sucks that Roberto Alomar is going out this way, because you have a lot of men out here that cannot control their Johnson, and they let their Johnson get in the way of money. I just don't understand it. It baffles my mind. It's like one of the great sayings that I heard, You'll lose a lot of money chasing women, but you'll never lose women chasing money. And for some reason that seems to just skip guys, and I just, for the life of me, I don't understand it. Guys will risk it all. They'll risk their livelihood, their job, their money, all for the sake of having just one vagina. I just don't get it. Look, it's another one coming in 15 minutes, Roberto. That's if he's guilty. So yeah, he's out of there. Now, on the other hand, if he's not guilty, it's simple. I would sue the woman for some type of compensation. Yes, women do lie, and we, as men, we just let women walk away free. And I say no. And there's the whistle. You heard it right there, because I was gonna go somewhere with it, but the whistle stopped me. The whistle said, "Hey, you're treading high waters here, Mike. Let's get out of here." So I'll just say this: look, men, fight. If he's not guilty, fight back. In the court of law. That's pretty much all you can do as a guy. And watch the type of women that you hang around as well. All right, so look, what's your thoughts on it? Let me know down in the comment section. And yeah, look, let me know. All right, let's switch it over to this day in sports history. May 5th, 1978. On this day, Cincinnati Reds Pete Rose became the 14th player to collect his 3,000th hit in the major leagues. Hey, look, that's all I got for you today, folks. I thank you for including my podcast into your day. If you're listening on Spotify, do yourself a favor, follow the podcast. If you're on the YouTube side of things, subscribe, comment, like, hit the bell, all that good stuff. Go to any of the social media links you see in the description box to get in contact with the show for comments or suggestions. You've been listening to All Things Sports with Mike Davis. And remember, it's your world. I'm just giving my opinion. I'm out. Peace.
You're listening to All Things Sports with Mike Davis.